everyone, welcome back, and if you are new, welcome. My name is Nikki. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell so that you're notified of all new uploads. I'm currently uploading 3 to 5 times a week, plus I live stream every Sunday. So if you hit the bell, it's right next to the subscribe button. I don't know why I'm pointing over here. If you're on your phone, it's on a different side. If you're on the computer, it's on another side. But basically, when you hit the bell, it notifies you every time I go live or have a new upload. I am so excited for today's video. I've been waiting for this palette to come out for so long. If you didn't know, if you're under a rock, JACLYN Hill and MORPHE actually just released a palette today. I went to the MORPHE store. I live in Los Angeles, so I drove the hour. I went the distance. I picked up one palette to film a makeup tutorial for myself, and I also picked up one for a giveaway, brand new palette I haven't opened. So if you're interested in entering the giveaway, I will leave a link to it down below. All the rules and everything are, I use a generator, so everything is linked down below. I always try to make my description boxes, whatever, really descriptive. I link my wigs, I link the shirts I'm wearing. This shirt I got from H&M for $7. So everything is linked down below. So in this video, my sweet boyfriend was kind enough to let me swatch up his arm. So you'll be able to see the palette on very light. He's a very pale Caucasian man, so you'll be able to see it on a very light skin tone, plus you'll be able to see it on a deeper skin tone, a brown skin tone. I specifically didn't watch any, I didn't watch JACLYN's video. I haven't watched anyone's videos or reviews of this palette because I wanted to give you my own review, totally unbiased. So I haven't seen anyone's reviews, but I just don't recall seeing anybody that was like of a deeper skin tone swatching this or reviewing it, like received it for PR. Full disclosure, I paid my own money for this. These were not sent to me for free. So I thought it would be helpful to see it on 2 different skin tones. And since my boyfriend is so awesome, I think I'm just going to do that from now on for any new palette I get. I'll just swatch it on both of us. Let me know if you guys find that helpful, if you like it. If you don't, I don't know. Let me know in the comments. So, okay, I need to calm down and just talk slow so that we can get through this review and I'm not like talking a mile a minute. So let's jump into the review. Okay, so I think the best way to start this review is just to show you the swatches. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna jump into clips of me swatching the palette on my skin tone, deeper skin tone, and my boyfriend, lighter skin tone. And I'll just put in some like nice music and you can see the swatches, and then you come back and we talk about them, okay? Let's do it. right, now that you've seen the swatches, let's just jump into my review. I want to start with, I don't want to call them negatives, but I want to start with my critiques first. I guess what I've noticed first, and then we'll end on a positive, and I'll tell you all the things I like about it. So number one, when I first opened it, I don't know if anyone else has the palette yet, but it smells weird. And when my boyfriend and we swatched, that's what we did first. We swatched it before I did the makeup tutorial, and I took it out of the packaging. The back doesn't smell. That doesn't smell like anything, but the front packaging, especially when I first opened it, I don't know if it was because it was stored in plastic or if it's been stored so long. The only way I can describe it is like a faint smell of paint and glue. I don't know, it just does not smell good. It's actually subsided a lot, but when I first opened it, it was very strong and it just like hit us in the face. Even my boyfriend noticed it. He was like, that thing stinks, but honestly, it's subsided a lot. So I'm thinking maybe that was just because it was in the packaging a lot or something, a long time. I don't know. Maybe it's gonna fade, but at first it really like puts you back. Like if any of you have the palette or have gotten it by the time you're watching it, let me know if that happened to you. I don't know if that's just this one palette. It's gone down. The smell has subsided a lot. I'm not kidding. When I first opened it, I almost couldn't put it to my face because it smelled so bad. So I'm thinking that may have been like a packaging thing. Maybe because it was in plastic. Because it was in plastic and then it was in a box. Second critique that I've noticed, as you saw in the swatches, hopefully you noticed, I noticed that the shadows aren't consistent formula throughout. And this might be my ignorance because I told you I haven't watched anyone else's videos. I didn't watch JACLYN's videos. I didn't want to hear her thoughts. I'm just telling you as a consumer, a person that just purchased this and used it. I noticed, for example, this, I have it upside down, but for example, this top row was a lot more powdery than the bottom row. And maybe she talks about that in her video. They're different, but I'm just used to most shadows in a palette being consistent formula. Well, that's what you would hope. So I noticed that, like, for example, these first three shadows, I don't know if you noticed on my boyfriend, they showed up really nicely, but for me, they weren't as pigmented, and that might just be a skin tone thing. But, like, for example, the top two rows just, I don't know, they're just not as pigmented as these bottom three rows. I don't know why. I don't know if it's meant to be that way, but I don't really care for that. There goes a motorcycle. Sorry, I have to have all the windows open because it's really hot in LA today. It's like 90 degrees, so I have everything open. So you might hear some background noise. So I don't know if it's meant to be that way, but I don't like that. I don't like that they're not consistent formula throughout. That really bothers me. I don't know. Has anyone else experienced that? Let me know if you have or if you haven't. That's really all the like bad things I have to say. The smell was horrible when I first opened it, but it is going down. So maybe I'm thinking it was just because it was packaged too long. And I don't like that the formula is not consistent throughout. Those are my two like bad. I'm putting it in air quotes because I don't know. Do you guys consider that bad? I don't think that's really bad. Like the Too Faced Glitter Bomb palette. If you haven't seen my review of that, I'll leave it linked down below. I've already returned that palette, and I did not give that palette a good review. So I don't know. I don't think that's horrible. I just think it's like the worst thing for me is that the formula is not consistent throughout. Now, let's move on to my other thoughts. Everything else I have to say about the palette is positive. Let me move over so you can see it. First of all, I don't know, this might be a personal preference, but I love that there are like a wide array of colors. I was so scared when she said she was coming out with a palette that they would be like all neutrals and browns, like the 35, what is it? The 35R palette from Morphe that's just all gold and brown. If you're new here, I love color. I love pinks, greens, blues, if you can't tell from my shirt and my makeup look. So I was just so glad to see like a purple and a teal and a blue and an orange and some more neutral colors. I feel like you can get so many looks out of this palette. You can, like, the amount of looks that you can create really are endless. Like, you could do, like, a jewel tone look, or you could do just a purple look, or you could do a burnt orange, like smoky look. There's so many things that you can do, or you can just use this top row, my least favorite row, and do like a natural look. So I really like the wide array of colors a lot. Oh, I should mention there is one more thing that I would consider negative. Some of these are not pigmented on brown skin at all, and just very, very powdery. Specifically, I noticed that with the first and second row, as you saw on the swatches on my skin tone. First of all, I had to like swipe like 2 or 3 times. Plus, they were really, really powdery. I don't understand that. They all looked pretty good on my boyfriend. So if you're a lighter skin tone, or if you're even just, I hate to keep calling him pale, but that's what he is. He's really pale. So if you're lighter than myself or very, very fair, that's better. If you're very fair, all of these colors will show up. It's just some of them aren't as pigmented as others, and that really was annoying for me. I haven't used all of them on the eyes yet, but when I swatch them, I noticed, for example, like I said, the first and second row, they're kind of powdery and they're not as pigmented. Now these bottom 2 rows, oh my goodness, beautiful. Actually, these bottom 3 rows, they're just so creamy. They're so pigmented. They just glide on the eyes. These bottom 4 green shadows right here, that's what I have on, and you'll see that in the tutorial. If it's up, I'll leave it linked down below. They are beautiful. My favorite color, my favorite 2 colors in this palette is this purple and this green. I wish that all of the formulas were these colors, because they're not. It's really weird. Like, the whole palette is not formulated like these 2 colors. These 2, in my opinion, are the most pigmented colors in the palette, and I love them, and I will be using them until I hit pan on them. So beautiful. So yeah, that's kind of like a mixed up good and bad review. They're not all as pigmented as these 2 colors. Like, they don't all have the same pigmentation, but the bottom 3 rows that do have the pigmentation are just gorgeous. And the wide array of colors, I really appreciate it. I want to know if some of you guys like that, because some people actually don't like having such a wide array of colors in their palette. I personally love it, but I know a lot of people don't. So let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. So let's talk about the value of the palette. This palette retails for $38. And there are a lot of people that have Morphe codes. So if you use their code, you can get some money off. I used Baps Beauty's code. I'll leave the name of her code down below, so you can get some money off. So I did the math. So you do get 35 shadows in here, so 35 shadows for $38 comes to about $1.08. Is that right? Let me double check that, because I know if that's not right, some of you will be like, that's not right. Let me double check my math. Yeah, okay, so that comes to about $1.08 per shadow, which is pretty amazing, but like I said, keep in mind, they all don't have the same pigmentation. Some of them are powdery. Some of them aren't as pigmented as others, but that's still a pretty good deal. And in my opinion, for the colors that I really love, I keep turning it upside down. For the colors that I really love, specifically these bottom 3 rows, even if this palette only came with the bottom 3 rows, and it was $38, I would think it's worth it. Just because that's already so many shadows. How many is that? 3 times 7. So that would be 21 shadows. So even if it was $38 for 21 shadows, I would still say this is a really good deal. And I'm not saying that I won't ever use these top rows. I need to at least try them. I only swatch them on my arm. I should try them on my eyes. So I'm going to make full use of this whole palette. So to me, $38 for 35 shadows is a thumbs up from me, because I know that I can create endless looks. But I feel like even if you feel like you might only use the bottom 3 rows, or you only might use the top 3 rows, if you know that you can create a lot of looks with this color selection, I say it's a really good bang for your buck. Now, I have to remember that a lot of you don't live in LA, right? So I was able just to drive to the store and pick it up. A lot of you are going to have to pay shipping, which I've heard is like $8 to $10, plus tax and everything, and then if you use a code. So really, this palette could go above $40. Of course, it'll probably go closer to $50 for you. So then I would say you have to really consider if this is worth it for you, because after shipping and tax, you're going to be paying like 50, maybe 55 bucks. What I say is, if you want to get this palette and you know a friend that wants to get it, you guys should team up so that you can get free shipping. Because by the way, Morphe does have free shipping on their website. I believe if you spend $75 or $100, I think it's 75 bucks. So if maybe you can team up on an order with a couple of friends, that way you guys can bring down the cost of shipping, or it'll be free, or maybe even 2, 3, 4 friends get together, then you can basically annihilate, that's a strong word, but you can basically cut out the shipping costs, which would be pretty cool. So final thought, because I feel like this video is already super long. I really like this palette. I think it's totally worth it. 38 bucks. I've only used 4 shades so far. And I think it's worth the 38 bucks. I'm really excited to create a lot of looks with this. Let me know if you guys want to see any specific looks down below. The giveaway is linked down below. I really like this palette. So far, so good. I will be posting like updated reviews over on my blog, so make sure to check out the blog. It's NikkiBeautyBliss.com. I'll leave a link to it down below. I'll actually put it somewhere on the screen here. It should be on the screen here. If it's not, I have left it linked down below. And that's it for me, guys. Stay tuned for the tutorial, and if the tutorial's up on this palette, I will leave it linked down below, and I will see you next time. Bye.